for joining. We will get started right away with, we'll bring the meeting to order and then get started with land acknowledgement.
You're live.
We are live now, Dr. Zimbalati.
Oh, okay. I had counted to 10, but yeah, so meeting is called to order and we'll get started with the land acknowledgement.
So I believe it's my turn, Jamie, here with the land acknowledgement. So the health unit is situated on lands that are the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people who continue to live, work, and play throughout these territories, including in urban communities. I encourage everyone to think about how they may contribute both personally and professionally to the process of reconciliation and respond to the 94 calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada.
Thank you, Jamie. Okay, the first order of business is the election of the chair. In advance of the meeting, we did send around an email request for nominations, and we do have nominations for Rick Champagne and Jamie Lowry for the position of chair, and just want to check in first of all with those individuals to see if they want their names to stand.
Yeah, I'll leave my names to stand, please.
And Jamie?
Sure.
And then are there any other nominations from the floor at this time? Okay, so hearing none, we haven't quite been in this position before with a hybrid meeting, but we do have a poll set up to do the voting. So
I will launch the poll
actually,
now.
you're able to launch that poll.
I've sent it now.
Now, will it show up on my Zoom?
It should show up in your meeting on the side screen.
And if you're on your phone, maybe go to chat.
You see it?
No,
I've got no, let's see here.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
I don't have a chop either.
Last guy.
Thing that says view at the top, is that it?
It should be in the chat.
Chat?
It's in the chat. You just have to tap the vote,
There's a
submit.
the polls icon and Liam's on his way.
Just
Yeah, I just found mine.
on the chat icon and the poll will come up.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so
Where's the red?
Yeah,
we got it. I did it.
he did not get it, but.
Good.
Yeah.
So how do I get into the chat?
Yeah, this icon right here,
Chat.
the bottom left. Yeah, that's your chat there, and then you'll see there's the polls. You select who you want and hit submit vote.
Oh, view here.
Down here, maybe.
Yeah, so
It's loading.
here you go to your chat.
Here it comes
Or
up. Chat and voting.
yeah, so that's your copy. You just like to do submit vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're good. Awesome.
Thanks, Liam.
Let's call Sarah.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. All right.
Okay, so based on the results of the poll, I'll put Rick's name into the resolution.
Thank you. I'm gonna remember,
Sorry, what was that?
nothing, sorry.
So I'll read the resolution. Be it resolved that Rick Champagne be elected chairperson for the Board of Health for the year 2025. Do I have a mover? Jamie Restool, thank you. And a seconder? I saw Jamie Lowry's hand up. Okay, so we'll take a vote and I'll just go on the order of my sheet here. Rick Champagne,
Yes,
Karen Cook,
Yes.
Blair Flowers,
Yes.
Sarah Inch,
Yes.
Jamie Lowry,
Yes.
Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Restool,
Yes.
Tim Shepard,
Yes.
Marion Stickland,
Yes.
Catherine Still,
Yes.
Morris Switzer,
Yes.
and Dave Wolf.
Yes.
Thank you, carried. So I'll now hand things over to Rick, though he is having some difficulty reading. So I think, Rick, you might have to do the first motion and then maybe your vice chair could take over reading some motions for you after that.
yeah, the big issue I have is I'm working off my iPhone and everything else is in the vehicle. Unfortunately, I've got no other laptop, so I'm kind of stuck here with this iPhone scenario. So I'll call for a vote for the vice chair. I guess I think there's one person, I believe. Jamie
There were
Lowry.
2 nominations.
2 nominations, okay. I guess
Jamie
we'll go for,
Lowry and Dave Wolf were nominated.
okay, we'll go to a vote, right? Unless they're both if we're both willing to stand.
No, I'm not. Dave, it's Dave. I'm not interested in standing at this time. Thank you, though.
Okay. Jamie, are you willing to stand?
I'm the only one.
Last
That's
man
fine.
standing.
Got a good chance.
But I need you to say yes.
Is that an acclaim?
You have to say yes.
Yes, okay.
There you go. All right. So I see, if I see nobody else, I guess we'll have a vote. And again, I don't have the list in front of me, Dr. Zimbalati, how it goes for the vote.
You want me to just read
Yes,
off the
please. Yes, please.
Yeah, so it will be for the resolution, be it resolved that Jamie Lowry be elected vice chairperson of the Board of Health for the year 2025. Do we have a mover?
I'll move.
Okay, thanks, Rick. And seconder? Thanks, Jamie McGarvey. And recorded vote, Rick Champagne,
Yes.
Karen Cook,
Yes.
Blair Flowers,
Yes.
Sarah Inch,
Yes.
Jamie Lowry,
Yes.
Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Restool,
Yes.
Tim Shepard,
Yes.
Marion Stickland,
Yes.
Catherine Still,
Yes.
Morris Switzer,
Yes.
Dave Wolf.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Jamie, for doing that. And because, again, I can already talk, so I'd like you to take over the meeting this evening and read the motions and go down the agenda, please.
Okay.
Thank you to both of you for doing that. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Much appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, but it's
Yes.
appreciated.
Thing that had it up and it's gone.
Let's start.
So this one here?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have an agenda somewhere?
Okay, so this resolution is to call, we still call to order, we did that already.
We already did that.
Election chair. 4.0 is the approval of the agenda will be resolved. The Board of Health agenda dated January 22nd, 2025 be approved. Do I have a motion? Catherine? Yeah. I'm gonna do this a little bit different.
The seconder?
Catherine and Marianne. Uh, Okay, I'll call for recorded vote. Rick Champagne,
Yes,
Aaron Cook,
Yes.
Blair Flowers,
Yes.
Sarah Inch.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Jamie, I agree. Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Restuo,
Yes.
Tim Shepherd,
Yes.
Marianne,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
Morse,
Yes.
David Wolf.
Yes.
That's carried. Item 5.0, is there any conflict of interest to be identified or declared? Nope. Seeing that, if there's one that comes up, you can certainly identify it after. Okay, so let's go to item, to resolve the minutes of the board meeting held on December 4th, 2024 be approved as presented. Do I have a mover? Tim. Seconder? Karen, thank you, Karen. I'll call recorded vote. Rick Champagne,
yes,
Karen,
Yes.
Blair Flowers,
Yes.
Sarah Inch.
Yes.
Thank you. Jamie, I agree. Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Restuel,
Yes.
Tim Shepherd,
Yes.
Marianne,
Yes.
you, Catherine,
Yes.
happy birthday. North,
Yes.
Dave Wolf,
Yes.
that is carried. All right. We are going for next. Okay, be resolved that the in-camera minutes from the Board of Health meeting held on December the 4th be approved as presented. Moved by Morris. Seconded by Jamie Restuel.
I'd rather not, because I wasn't at the meeting.
Oh, okay. Oh, I saw your hand up there. I thought that was,
Sorry,
I thought that was a wave.
sorry.
He was waving to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jamie Restuel, you're okay with moving that? Thank you. Seconded by Blair Flowers. Sorry, Blair. Thank you. Call for recorded vote. Rick Champagne,
yes,
Karen Cook,
Yes.
Blair Flowers,
Yes.
Sarah Inch.
Yes.
Thank you. Amy, yep. Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Restuel, Tim Shepherd.
Yes.
Marianne,
Yes.
Catherine.
Yes.
Or should we just put a
I should have done that for the regular meeting.
No, we can vote on
You
them.
can vote even if you're,
Vote on the minutes.
Yeah.
oh, you want to vote on this? Just, okay.
Yeah.
And David Wolf. Yeah. That's carried. Much. Where are we going? Okay, appointment of standing committees. Meeting schedule, sorry. So it's as presented, I guess. Did everybody get a chance to look at it? Okay. Any conflicts, concerns? Morris?
is it, next January's meeting is a week later than this one?
The way the calendar falls.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, it says committee, it says both meetings, yeah, so on the 28th.
okay. Just
It's
checking.
always the fourth Wednesday, and so it just depends on
Yeah.
how they.
I voted on it.
Okay, so like, is this the resolution for the be resolved the Board of Health meeting are held in North Bay Perry Sound. Is that the one I'm reading?
In accordance with the Board of Health.
With the exception of one meeting will be held at the Perry Sound. Home?
So that's.
Oh, this one. Okay, sorry.
So you just move it.
Okay, so we have a mover for the schedule? Second, Catherine. That's right. Okay. Let it be resolved that in accordance with the Board of Health bylaw, section 3, number 51, the Board of Health approved the regular meeting schedule for 2025 as follows. We've all read that. And further be it resolved that the Board of Health meetings are held at the North Bay Perry Sound District Health Unit main office, North Bay, with the exception of one meeting that will be held Perry Sound branch office, if possible. The Perry Sound meeting date is scheduled for June 25th, 2025. We have a mover and seconder. I'll call for recorded vote. Rick Champagne.
Yes.
Karen Cook.
Yes.
Claire Flowers.
Yes.
Sarah Inch.
Yes.
Thank you. I agree. Jamie McGarvey.
Yes.
Jamie Rastool.
Yes.
Tim Shepard.
Yes.
Marianne.
Yes.
Catherine.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
And Dave Wolf. That is carried. Right. Okay, we're moving on to 8.0. Appointment of standing committees for 2025. Be it resolved that the Board of Health for the North Bay Perry Sound District Health Unit approves the appointment of the following Board of Health committees for 2025. Number 1, the Finance and Property Committee comprised of all board members to deal with matters of finance, banking, insurance, property, and financial policies of the Board of Health. And 2, the Personnel Policy, Labor, Employer Relations Committee comprised of all board members to deal with the matter related to collective agreements, unions, and employment policies, non-union, and personnel policies of the Board of Health. Do I have a mover? Karen Cook. Thank you. Seconder.
Rick.
Okay, Rick. Call for recorded vote. Rick Champagne.
Yes.
I
Yes.
put a little French flair in there for you, right?
I noticed that.
Merci. Merci.
I didn't know you were bilingual.
I'm not. I just pretend.
I can tell.
Karen Cook.
Yes.
Claire Flowers.
Yes.
Sarah Inch.
Yes.
Thank you. Amy, I agree. Jamie McGarvey.
Yes.
Jamie Rastool.
Yes.
Tim Shepard.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Catherine.
Yes.
Morris.
Yes.
And David Wolf.
Yes.
Carried. Okay. Moving right along. Okay, 9.0, be it resolved, the Board of Health for the North Bay Perry Sound District Health Unit approve the signing officers for the 2025, for the year 2025 as follows. Chairperson would be Rick Champagne. Me.
Thank you, J-Lo.
My best.
J-Lo, yes.
Hope there's no media, because then they think we're not taking. Vice Chair, Jamie Lowry, J-Lo. Medical Officer, Healthcare, Dr. Zimbalati. Executive Director, Clinical and Chief Nursing Officer, Shannon Mantha. Executive Director, Community Services, Louise Gagne. Executive Director, Corporate Services and Privacy Officers, Paul Masincotti. Is that what it is?
Massacot.
Scotti. Executive Director, Finance, Isabella Churcher, and Executive Director, Organizational Effectiveness, Chris Bose. Do I have a mover? Dave Wolf.
And Jamie McGarvey.
And Jamie McGarvey is a seconder? Okay. Thank you, Jamie. For a vote, Rick,
Yes.
Karen Cook,
Yes.
Claire Flowers,
Yes.
Sarah Inch.
Yes.
Thank you. Jamie Idiri, Jamie McGarvey.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we're in there. Jamie Rastool.
Yes.
Thank you. Tim Shepherd.
Yes.
Maria.
Yes.
Catherine.
Yes.
Or Switzer. Oh, that's carried. In here now. Okay. 10.0. Be it resolved that the Board of Health for the North Bay Parry Sound Health Unit approve appointment for the following legal advisor for 2025. Now, I will say I have a conflict with Lucenti because, so if I'll separate that out, right, because Sandra was my cousin. So I'll read them twice. So the first one is the Corporation of the City of North Bay. How do I do this? I just skip over Lucenti's? Okay, I just won't vote first. I'll just identify as a conflict. Lucenti Orlando Professional Corporation. Joseph Kennedy for Enforcement and Legal Advisors and the Corporation of the City of North Bay. Health Protection and Promotion. HEPA Legal Advisors. Joe Kennedy, Larmer Jackson. And Labor Relations Legal Advisor, Fillion, Wakely, Thorpe, and Angliati, LLP. Do I have a mover? I'll just identify as a conflict here. Okay, Marianne? And Catherine, you okay the second one?
Yes. Morris is just scrolling.
He's what?
He was just scrolling.
He was scrolling?
Did you see my hand again?
No, I'm scanning the room more. Okay, I put conflict of interest for here.
My right hand, I think.
You can just abstain from voting.
Yeah, I'll just pay. Okay. Call for recorded vote. Ray Champagne,
We,
Blair, Karen Cook,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm just gonna put an A for me. Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Rastool,
Yes.
Tim Shepherd,
Yes.
Ian,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Dave Wolf.
Yes.
Carried. Carried. And this one is for 15.3. Therefore,
11.0 business arriving.
what was it? Sorry about that. Okay, business arising, number 11, anything?
I just want to, if I could have a moment there, Jamie, to talk about, I just had a meeting with the Deputy Minister of Health on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the shortage and our health issues that we're having as far as funding, especially the 1%, well, especially the 1%. The minister that was there, the deputy minister that was wasn't the minister there herself, but the deputy minister that was there, it was very understanding about the issues that we're having, especially the 100% funding programs that they're actually not 100% funded. So there's always usually a shortfall, and it's falling on the back of the municipalities. And believe it or not, at that my meeting was at 1:15. He said I already had 5 meetings prior before that with other municipalities, and the same issues was brought up about the constant, percentage that's going up every year. Not just that with the ABCs.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that he did ask me, he said, "Well, how about the incorporation or hanging on with other municipalities or other health units?" And I said, "We tried that route. We tried to go to Sudbury, then we tried to go to Renfrew, and decided to go in a different avenue." And he said, "Well, it's glad that you've put effort into it, and we're glad for it." And I said, "Yeah, we put a lot of time and effort into it, and this is what happens at the end." But I said, the funding formula that you have is not quite adequate, and it's going to get worse before it gets better, especially when there's a pandemic and you guys depend on health units for what we do. You should really open your coffers up and help the municipalities, because keep going on the back of the municipality, they're going to start really revolting, and it's not going to be good for any of the health units. and they did agree, and they said there's something coming down. But I was kind of hoping that the Minister of Health was going to say something on Monday afternoon, but she never mentioned anything. But we are on the radar. The city North Bay also put it on their radar about the 1%. It's not going to be enough, especially with union negotiations coming up. And he did mention about reserves. I said, we're not going to touch our reserve because our reserve doesn't really, are just enough to cover our expenses over a couple months. So touching our reserves is not an option.
No.
And
No.
they said, well, sounds like you're doing a great job with your municipalities or with your health unit. I said, yes, they are. And yes, we are, but thank you. But the different firm is going to take a look at it, and especially the 100% funding is not 100%. I call them uniquely funded programs. So they really got to look at them. If you got to give us a 100% program, keep it at 100%. Don't keep downloading it to the municipalities. So that was my message to them.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Thanks for doing that, Rick.
Yeah, no problem. But I talked a little better when I'm talking right now. So,
I hope so.
so anyway, what I did ask him, I said, there was somebody taking notes. I said, could you please send us a copy so I can bring it back to my health unit and my municipalities, exactly what you said and what I said, so we'd have a copy on record.
Mm-hmm. Good idea.
So,
Good.
thank you for that.
Any other business? Thanks, Rick.
Okay.
Report of the medical officer of health.
It's in the package and available for questions.
The only question I had a couple of questions, and Dr. Zimbalati answered them ahead of time. Is it just the names of the people on that? I got and then I didn't realize that those are the managers. But even
So
still,
I think you're referring to the QIR
yeah.
and
That's
the agenda.
later on, but that's later on.
I had some questions, Chair.
Yep.
Thanks, Doctor. Hope you're feeling better. Questions under, first question I had was, could you refresh my memory as to what, when you're talking about things like COVID, what % positivity means?
It's out of all the tests that are done, how many of them are positive. And of course, we're not talking about the rapid antigen tests with that because those results don't get reported, but it's the ones that are reported.
Okay, thanks. And in your report, you mentioned delegations from East Ferris and North Bay with regard to public health funding. I suppose that's what Rick was just talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
Reorganization. I wasn't clear. Are you talking about considering changing the name of the portfolio organizational effectiveness?
No, not that in particular. Some of the name of the merged programs, so Healthy Schools and Healthy Living, there's going to be a name change there to reflect the combined, as well as a change of the portfolio that Danielle Hunter manages. So it's kind of dispersed between communications, planning and evaluation, and quality assurance. So that will be renamed.
Okay, thanks. Programs and services under Indigenous engagement. I'm glad that the indoor smudging room is operational. I imagine there are going to be plans for some sort of a ceremony, I would think. Perhaps the new engagement and development officer is going to be involved with that.
So yes, the new manager was unable to start until May 5th. Because of prior commitments, but they're really the individual that we wanted for the job. So once they're in the position, those plans will move forward, but we didn't want to do that in their absence.
Okay. Corporate services. I was glad to see that they had media coverage for the Planet Youth Nipissing. I'd suggest for consideration that we approach the media looking for some regular calendar I gotta keep waving my arms here.
It's unnerving.
Just don't take off on us, Morris.
I think there are probably lots of opportunities for regular scheduled, whether they're columns or video pieces that are on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. I hope that we're considering doing that to keep in front of the media, which is key. Information technology. I checked in my dictionary. We've installed approved mice and keyboards. You can use mouses. It refers to computers. That's just an observation. Mouses are acceptable for the plural of mouse, computer mouse. Professional practice. 30 students I'm interested in which programs, which post-secondary programs those students were that did internships or placements with us. Are they from
Understanding is they're from from Nipissing and Canada. It used to be a combined program from my understand, but now separate programs. So the majority will be from there.
Okay, thanks. Oral health, submission to Health Canada's Oral Health Access Fund. It says, your report says it aims to reduce or remove non-financial barriers for target populations. Health Canada will know something about barriers because their non-insured health benefits program for Indigenous peoples is one of the biggest barriers that there is. I can speak from personal experience. I think it would be a wonderful initiative of health units to start investigating on behalf of their Indigenous people in their catchment area, Indigenous people, how that NIHB program is such it's a drawback. It's more hindrance than it is help.
There are definitely talks happening more at the provincial level between the Office of the Chief Medical Officer of Health as well as the federal government in terms of, ensuring access to care and also coordination of care. So I think the role of local public health is to access it, is to advocate and to identify issues as we see them and as our voice to us. So it's, as you very well know, very complicated when dealing between the two kind of jurisdictional requirements. But yes, I do think public health local public health also has a role.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't think most members of the public had to experience the prior approvals that are required to get, in some cases, emergency services. I have, and so thanks for that. Community services, environmental health. I'm curious about two things. What are considered high-risk food premises? I suspect that might be like those outdoor wagons and things like that. And what are included in personal service establishments?
So the risk assessment, there's a whole tool to determine what qualifies as high risk. It would include the type of food that is being served. Are there meat, for example, or is it all just prepackaged food, which would make it a lower risk? Something of their prior history is also involved. So there is a whole tool which determines what is a high risk establishment versus lower risk. And in terms of your second question, sorry.
Personal service establishment.
Oh, yeah. That would be things like nail salons, hair salons, tattoo parlors, that sort of.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to make you talk so much with you. I know you're not feeling the greatest. Corporate sponsorships, I wasn't sure about, is that continuing the partnership with Lippy, the corporate sponsorship?
Yeah,
that-
historically, we've usually given some funds to supplement the denturist, to increase access to denturists. So that's something that we continued this year. It's just reviewed on an annual basis as to whether we have the funds to contribute.
And 15.2, the comprehensive documentation system, it was a very abstract kind of theoretical rationale that was given in the report. Can you give one tangible example of what we need and how this new approach is going to help make it better? Is there?
It is dependent somewhat on what the province does in terms of a digital platform as well. We've been, for a lot of our documentation, we've been using a system called Mendoka, which is difficult to use. Also, some of the more medically oriented medical record systems, they don't allow for the type of documentation that we need in public health, where it might relate to an establishment versus an individual. So we're looking for a documentation system that is more flexible to the needs of public health.
Okay, I'm almost done. The quality issue report, you don't like to see a number of names, repeated, but that can speak to a lot of things, the size of the unit and whatnot. But one thing caught my eye, vaccine error. What would that have been?
There are several different types of vaccine errors that can occur. It could be the wrong dose, or, say pediatric dose given to an adult, or vice versa. I would say that we're very comprehensive in terms of our reporting on quality issue reports. And you are seeing a lot of names repeated. These are the managers of programs in which the errors are reported, though vaccine errors tend to be reported by the professional practice manager rather than vaccine preventable disease. That's just the way that process has been established. So even though you see the same often names repeated, they're not the individuals who necessarily made the mistake. They're the manager. And I would say that clinical services where there's much more detailed requirements in terms of process, they're the ones where you tend to get most of the quality issue reports, just because it's more clear when the proper process hasn't been followed.
Thanks. And this was really new business, I think.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. And thanks very much, Doctor. I'll leave you alone now.
Any more comments about the medical officer valve, Dave?
I just have a couple of quick questions. The Oral Health Access Fund, the 3-year funding stream, that's money that comes to us?
Yeah, that's federal government, though. However, if there is, I think this grant is very much in limbo with the current state of affairs of federal politics.
But we don't know. Do we know the amount?
We know the amount that we requested. I don't have that number off the top of my head. But there was a specific figure in our grant application.
In the application, there was a specific number amount. Okay. I was just curious what that number was. You don't have to tell me if you don't have it available. Our health box, can you remind me what the cost of that is?
There is no cost.
There is no cost?
Through a grant as well.
Okay, thank you, because I couldn't remember. On the secondary school electronic consent forms, first of all, I like the fact that we're moving that way, and I look forward to bringing forward at a later date the results of that.
Yeah, it was a pilot, so I think there were some issues that we'll have to work out related to that. I think the communication system that school boards use with their parents, it doesn't necessarily reach everyone. So there are some learnings that we had from the process this year, and hope to refine that in future years.
Yeah, sure. I imagine there would be, but as a parent, I can tell you how much I would have appreciated that if I could have used it when my kids were still in high school. So I would like to see some follow-up and outcomes in terms of how that works, because it creates a positive relationship, not necessarily or only between the Board of Health and the school boards, but between the Board of Health and parents and their children, which, puts us in a more positive light, I think. There was something about, I'd have to find page 10. Oh, yes, the basics, Nipissing Perry Sound. It mentioned that there's going to be, makes mention of the website. I'm just wondering if there's going to be a separate URL for that, if it's going to be a standalone website, or is it going to be a page on the Board of Health site, or how is that going to work?
I have to look. Yeah, so I believe, and I'd have to confirm this, but I believe that is going to be hosted on our website.
Okay. And then my final question, and maybe we've seen this before, or maybe we haven't. There was reference in your report, and I apologize because I can't remember now where I saw it, to something called the Walport Report. And I'm wondering if that is something that we have seen before. What is that in reference to?
Yeah, you'd have to give me a section of the.
Yeah, I apologize. I just wrote a quick note here, and I'm now not sure. I'll send you an email.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks. Yeah, because I'd be curious to see what it was. Thank you.
Other questions?
Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Board committee reports, I suspect there are none. Okay. Correspondence? I thought there was a table somewhere.
The correspondence is in the general SharePoint folder. Everybody has access to.
I saw a few, but I haven't got my computer. New business? Anything from the correspondence? Does anybody have any questions? 15.1 under new business, corporate sponsorship and donations, 2024 report to the board. Any questions? Morris had some, but I think they got answered. Yeah. Okay.
Morris keeps moving his hand there.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking to make sure. Is that a hand wave or is that a question?
I did find where the Walport report was referenced, and that was in the correspondence list related to a correspondence from Peterborough Public Health. So I can find out more on what the Walport report contained.
Thank you.
Looks like we support it, whatever it is.
15.2 request for proposal 2024. I think we covered that. All right. We'll go to 15.3 and I'll read the resolution. For be it resolved, the Board of Health, the North Bay Perry Sound District Health Unit authorizes blank Board of Health members to attend the Association of Local Public Health Agencies Alpha 2025 Winter Symposia to be held virtually on February 12th to 14th, 2025. And furthermore, be resolved that expenses related to the attendance of the Alpha 2025 Winter Symposium be paid in accordance with the Board of Health Bylaw Section 6, number 79, remuneration. You have a mover.
So I guess we need a number inserted in the resolution to how many board members are supporting.
Jamie have
No, for seconder.
Oh, second. Okay, sorry. I think last year we had 3, didn't we? Up to 3?
To 3.
Up to 3.
that okay? All right. 3, moved by Catherine, seconded by Jamie, and I'll call, if that's okay, I'll call for a recorded vote. Rick Champagne,
Yes.
Karen Cook,
Yes.
Claire Flowers,
Yes.
Sarah Inch. Oh, she pipes in on Jamie Lowry, Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Restulo.
Yes.
Thank you, Tim,
Yes.
Marianne,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
looking for your hand up there, that's all.
Turn my camera.
Dave, that's carried. All right. Okay, 15.4, we've talked a little bit about that. Does anybody other have questions? I think there's some explanation from Dr. Zimbalati about the names. I still think it's a little bit, like anybody who doesn't know the context of, to me, I find it a bit, like let's say, for example, someone's in a job search and they just have to surf that up and they see, these non-compliance.
Look at all these names.
You know, it's, to me, I mean, maybe it's not a big deal, but I think putting people's name on that, if it was better, to me, it would be better if it was just their title.
But is it a matter of public record?
Well, I think it is, because
Yes, no, but I mean, are we required? Is it a requirement to file this?
I thought it was an internal document. That was my, but that's what I'm saying. If it's an internal document, why is it here? I mean, I know why it's here, but to me, to put the person's title as opposed to
Their name.
Right.
name.
But if it's a requirement to file it and it has to be we have to do it in a public way, which is what I'm asking. So if somebody can answer that, that would be helpful. And if it's not, is there a way that we can bring it forward in camera? If it's going to be a concern for board members, then it would be an in-camera matter.
Correct.
But if it's a matter of having to file
Like your audit, for example, or something.
that, then, I mean,
I'd have
to be
yeah.
compliant. I mean, if we need to do this to be compliant, then we
Right.
have to do it.
I can look into what's actually required in terms of filing, whether specific names are versus titles. We are very careful not to put the names of those who committed the error or who it related to, just their their designated role.
Right.
I,
It just,
I,
to me, it's just a little unnerving because, you know, like if it's out of context, nobody understands. Like for me, not knowing that,
Got my attention.
yeah, like, sorry, Rick.
yeah, I asked the same question to Dr. Zimbalati last week, and you see the same name come up all the time. You think it's an issue, but it's not really. It's the support that from the managers, right? So I do agree. If there's a way of not putting their name down, maybe just put the manager of the whatever program is. That should be put in there. I do agree with that.
So
Do the municipalities not receive critical incident reports on an annual basis?
I don't remember seeing them.
Never.
I've seen them at other boards. So I'm not
I've seen it.
as moved as you are in terms of having the manager's name there. They're the responsible individual. But I'm just more concerned that if it's required, if it's mandated and we have to do this, I'm fine with it. If it's not mandated, if board members have an issue with it, then it can be brought forward. It could be a matter of, an in-camera presentation. It doesn't matter to me in that regard, but I'm more interested to know what the requirement is.
I'm only going by in long-term care when there's a compliance order. They never identify the person. The person is assigned a number, and then you just don't know what it is, right? So, and then the critical incident is it's redacted of that person.
And that's fair.
I'll have a discussion with Dr. Zimbalati and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Chair. Okay, 15.5. Oh my gosh. Rick, do you want to do this one? Whereas on September 27, 2023, a presentation of the new governance documentation system aimed at streamlining the Board of Health policies, Board of Health bylaws, documents, and Board of Health orientation manual into 3 core documents: bylaw documents, governance manual, and the code of conduct was received and accepted. And whereas on April 24th, 2024, a memo, an updated Board of Health bylaws, updated governance manual, formerly called orientation manual, and a new code of conduct documentation containing board governance content, example, information about governing of board activities from the Board of Health policies were reviewed and approved. And whereas all operational content, example, information about operating health programs/services from the Board of Health policy has been integrated into existing or new health unit policies, procedures, and or associated documents. And whereas the Board of Health is aware of and has access to health unit operational policies through the Board of Governance Manual, and whereas a new governance document system is fully implemented with associated with work completed, therefore let it be resolved that the Board of Health for the North Bay Parish Town Health Unit approves the elimination and archiving of Board of Health policies listed below. Do I have to read all the policies? Or can we look at the, I do? Oh, I
No,
do.
you don't have to read out the whole resolution.
I'll need a drink of water.
Well, that's an easy one. You didn't get into the furthermores.
Yeah, right.
You're lightweight.
So true. Anyway, there are 2 pages of those, and do I have a mover for them? Rick, was that your hand?
And Rick.
Okay.
No, it wasn't Morris.
Oh.
Being very good.
I have a seconder.
Jamie
Jamie
Resto.
Restoll.
Jamie Arstool, thank you, Jamie. Right. Call for a record vote. Rick Champagne,
Yes.
Karen Cook,
Yes.
Blair Flowers,
Yes.
Sarah Inch.
Yes.
I hear you. Jamie, yep. Jamie McGarvey,
Yes.
Jamie Arstool, Tim
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Ann,
Yes.
Catherine,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
and Dave Wolf. That is carried. Right. That one. 16.0 in camera. I don't think there's anything in camera. And 17 is an adjournment, which we don't normally take a vote for that.
Inquiries?
What's that? What's that? None? So adjourned.
Thank you, Jamie, for
Thank
doing
you.
this this
Yeah,
evening.
thanks, Jamie.
Right.
Thank you.
Everybody. Thank you.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Happy
Good night.
birthday, Catherine, again.
Well, I hope you get home